is Shota Bagaturia. Today we're joined by Lisa Kaestner from IFC. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us today.
Thank you, Shota. It's a pleasure to be here, joining you from Kyiv.
Thank you so much. Please tell us about yourself and then about IFC.
Sure. So I'm based here in Kyiv, working for IFC, which is the International Finance Corporation. This is the private sector branch of the World Bank Group. I've been in this role for about 3 years, based here in Kyiv for the last year and a half since we have reopened our office and presence on the ground. I can tell you a little bit more about my career at IFC, which was that it started in Georgia.
Yes.
And I have worked on Eastern Europe and Central Asia for a lot of my career, including some time that was based in Istanbul, but have also spent some time working on Eastern and Southern Africa.
And can you please tell us about the products that IFC provides?
IFC provides all kinds of financing, debt, equity, guarantees. It can be also subordinated debt, so pretty much any financial instrument that a business might require. Generally, our investment sizes are rather large, about 5 million or up for equity, and 20 to 30 million and up for debt. So our clients tend to be larger clients, but we also can reach smaller clients through banks.
And how's that working? Like working with banks, let's say in Ukraine, what's the situation currently given the war?
So the banks have actually been surprisingly resilient due to, I think, very prudent lending practices. But because they're prudent, it means they're also keeping a lot of liquidity and doing less lending than not meeting all the demand for lending. So what we've been doing with banks is risk-sharing facilities where we take part of the risk of their portfolios, usually half, and that way they can lend more to smaller businesses, but share the risk with IFC, so using our balance sheet to reach more clients. And those loans tend to be up to about 10 million US dollars, so they're fairly significant still in size. So I think for some businesses looking to grow in Ukraine can be a significant source of financing, but can also be much smaller. So for smaller businesses as well, I think very impactful.
And what are the primary industries?
So IFC has financed quite a bit in agribusiness. It's always been a big sector for us in Ukraine. I mean, anyone who knows Ukraine knows that it's sort of the breadbasket of Europe, and that remains the case. We continue to finance the agribusiness sector. We recently announced an investment about 2 months ago in a Ukrainian company that's doing soybean processing, for example. Lately, we started doing more in infrastructure again. We announced an investment in a large telecom transaction in December with NJJ. And then more recently, we announced our first wind energy project with a Ukrainian company. And this is, during wartime, particularly when the energy infrastructure is being targeted. I think I'm very pleased that we've been able to undertake these investments, and that's thanks actually to support that we get from some governments who help us to manage the risk. And then the third, I'll name 2 more sectors. The third would be the financial sector, which I mentioned we use as a way to support the broader economy. And fourth, technology sector. So one of our earliest investments after the full-scale invasion in 2022 was with Horizon Capital, which is a fund, US-based fund actually, which is financing the technology sector primarily.
How can Wallstreet investors become part of IFC?
If a company in the US or really anywhere in the world has a project in a client country of IFC, which Ukraine is one of those. They would like to have financial support from IFC. They can approach us directly through contacts on our website, and we would be happy to discuss potential projects. Generally, these should be companies that have experience in the sector, not necessarily in the country. We can help to bring them into a new country if they're experienced in the sector. But a company with ongoing operations somewhere who would like to expand into Ukraine, we would be very interested to talk to them.
Okay, and then what's your loan term usually?
The loan term is usually up to 10 years.
Okay. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today. Wishing you much luck, and Slava Ukraini.
Heroям слава. Thank you, Shota.
Thank you so much.